Good Thursday morning, and thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg. Well, a cold night, a freeze warning was in effect. Barn thermometer temperature says 33 degrees right now. We've got frost forming on the ground, but it should warm up nicely today. They're calling for bright sunshine, light winds, and 61 degrees. This quick reminder, Grow Next Gen brings agriculture science to the classroom. Learn more at grownextgen.org. Let's check in now on our weekly update from the Ohio Soybean Council. I'm visiting today with Bill Bayless, and Bill is currently serving as chairman of the Ohio Soybean Council. Bill, you've been out representing Ohio soybean farmers in the council. It's a program called Soy Connect. Tell us a little bit about where that was and sort of what it was all about.
Soy Connect is been going on for a few years now, put on by the United States Soybean Export Council, and it's where we invite our customers from around the world to come to the United States to actually see our crops growing and our facilities, transportation, so forth, of how we can be the best provider of their soy needs.
What are some of the things that those countries are looking for? Are they leaning just to a reliable supply? Are they looking for sustainability type things? Is it all the above?
Kind of all of the above, but, price has a factor.
Absolutely.
But reality then, we take those facts, and that's we, in this case, is what I'm calling the U.S. Soybean Export Council staff and directors. We try to show where our U.S. soybeans, through testing, have superior sides to them versus our big competitor in South America. South America, actually, us farmers, they do have comparable or maybe a half a point higher protein value than we do, but our quality is better. Our customers all agree when they open a ship holder, our quality is better. And that's based, part of it's on climate, part of it's on where we tend to grow more full season beans. They do a double crop scenario down there. They dry their beans, so that's all stress on the bean and the coloration and all-around quality part.
This update brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your Soybean Checkoff. Well, let's take a look now at your Thursday morning weather forecast, brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance, online at seedconsultants.com.
Improving weather across Ohio. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at your forecast update. Your Thursday doesn't look too shabby here overall. High pressure is off to the south and east. And we're going to be looking at warmer air in to finish this week. Sunshine, blue sky, temperatures back above normal, very pleasant everywhere you look from today right on through the weekend. Strong high pressure is not really going very far. As we say, it's moving off to the south and east. It's still going to park over the southeastern United States, warming as it sits there, as it interacts with the ocean and whatnot. But what it's doing is acting as a block to anything coming at us from the west. There's a fairly significant area of precipitation trying to form later today into tomorrow in the Four Corners region, going all the way up into southern parts of Montana. But the farthest east that gets at all is probably Kansas, Nebraska through Sunday into Monday. The remains of the system finally can move east as high pressure breaks down over the southeastern U.S. for next Tuesday. But even then, it runs out of gas, it runs out of moisture, it hits this very dry column of air that we have, and it can go no farther. So I'm putting together a rain-free forecast from now right on through the end of next week. There is colder air on the move next Friday, so we're chilly for the weekend of the 26th and 27th. That cool air may interact with the warm air, give us a bit of moisture, but I don't see anything before that. Moisture is going to be an issue. We have none of it in our forecast. I'm meteorologist Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this.
In any year, your best harvest is only a few upgrades away. Seed Consultants exclusively serves the Eastern Corn Belt, combining our deep knowledge of local conditions with high-performing products fit for your acres. Most importantly, our customized services put our products and your business in a position to succeed. We help you start with better to grow your best. Visit seedconsultants.com to learn why our products and services are simply better.
In a time of tight margins when every penny counts, could you be saving more on your monthly energy bill? Ohio Farm Bureau is here to help members get competitive electric and natural gas supply prices through its energy savings program. Participants save an average of 10% on their rates. Let Ohio Farm Bureau help you take the guesswork out of energy savings. Request your free bill analysis at ofb.ag/energy program. Savings not guaranteed. Actual savings may vary.
Taking a look at your agricultural headlines, with stories not being reported other places, wildfires have swept across parts of North Dakota with nearly 111,000 acres burned. That's over 173 square miles. So while we talk about the flooding going on in Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida, let's not forget about the wildfires taking place in Kansas and North Dakota. A lot of folks in need of prayer. Well, in other agricultural news, consolidation in the seed industry is making headlines. Now, in 2025, farmers in more than 20 states will have fewer brands from which to choose. Bayer announced in its plan last year to consolidate 10 regional seed brands under its channel line, eliminating Fontel, Gold Country Seed, Hubner Seed, Young Seed Genetics, Kruger Seeds, Lewis Hybrids, Ray Seeds, Specialty Seeds, Stewart Seeds, and Stone Seeds in its portfolio. Now, many of these brands began as family seed businesses decades ago, and some had been around more than a century. Bayer said the move enables the company to strengthen dealer relationships and allow the, quote, further investment in agronomic support and products that will benefit its customers. It wasn't terribly surprising news, said Dean Cavey, co-founder of Verdant Partners, LLC, which is an ag business brokerage and consulting group in Champaign, Illinois. It's expensive to maintain multiple brands, but it's also risky to consolidate them, particularly those that have been in existence for a long time. So you have to balance the cost savings against the unit loss you're bound to suffer. Now, Cavey watched as other multinational companies also have acquired and then subsequently retired brands. Syngenta brought Garst and Golden Harvest in 2004, for example, only to jettison Garst a decade later. And in 2020, Corteva Agriscience opted to shutter the nearly 40-year-old Mycogen brand in favor of Brevant. Bayer Brands consolidation is the largest in Ag-Reliant Genetics unfixed 6 regional dealer brands: Eureka Seeds, Golden Acre Genetics, Great Lakes Hybrids, LG Seeds, Producers Hybrids, and Winsman Seed Company. As the new LG Seeds in 2018, it continues a trend within the industry that began when the first genetically engineered traits were introduced in the market in the early 90s. And since then, more than 200 seed companies have been acquired or went out of business, according to a March 23 report from the USDA's Ag Marketing Service. Now, the result is concentration of market share among 4 seed companies. And a June 2023 report by the USDA Economic Research Service found that when combined, Ag-Reliant, Bayer, Corteva, and Syngenta account for 83.4% of the corn seed sales and 78.1% of the soybean seed sales in the United States from 2018 to 2020. At this point, it's hard to see a lot of opportunity for further brand consolidation, Cavey said. He thinks the biggest challenge ahead for the industry is its ability to maintain the independent seed company. Todd Martin is CEO of the Independent Professional Seed Association based in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and he paints an ominous picture for his organization's membership. When the IPSA was formed in 1989, there were around 300 independent seed companies, he said. In 2004, that number was still close to 200. Today, we represent about 100, including independent seed professionals and seed companies, and our numbers are going down. He said that's because of competition or the lack thereof. Now, some of the larger independent seed companies, such as Beck's Hybrids, Stein Seed, and Weffel Hybrids, have carved out niches and gained adequate market share in their regions, allowing them to compete. However, the same cannot be said for all the independents, which are plagued by inherent issues within the industry, the concentration of intellectual property in the form of genetics and traits. In 2023, a report from the USDA AMS estimated that 95% of corn and 84% of soybeans had the intellectual property in the hands of Bayer, BASF, Corteva, and Syngenta. All the independents, to varying degrees, have been struggling with the annual increase in their access cost to these genetics traits, Cavey explained, and at the same time, they're competing against the purveyors of these genetics and the traits on product pricing. As a result, independents are seeing reductions in their margins year after year, such as financial pressure, that can ultimately lead to more industry consolidation. The economics are really stacked against them, and unless there's something done in regards to the competition of the intellectual property, property patents. We'll be looking at fewer than 40 independent seed companies within 5 years. That's not good for competition. That's not great for innovation. And they don't believe it's good for the farmers. Now, though the outlook may seem bleak, independents still possess a few special ingredients that can make the difference. That would be tailored seed solutions and customer service. And while independents may license genetics from the likes of Bayer or Corteva, they can offer what truly fits their local market best. They can also offer a more personal buying experience. And if you're in Iowa buying for Cornelius seed and something's wrong, you can just call Chuck Cornelius. He'll get it fixed because it's not just his name on the bag, but it's his father's name, his grandfather's name, and his great-grandfather's name on the bag. Therefore, it's important because it's family. And such generational relationships contribute to the strong sense of brand loyalty that pervades agriculture. For most growers, their first loyalty is to the person selling them the seed. There's a level of trust, Cavey said. After that personal loyalty comes the brand. It's hard to break that habit when growers trust a brand and the company behind it. Now, despite such loyalties, USDA forecasts that net farm income will plummet more than 25% in 2024 and will leave farmers looking for ways to cut cost. Loyalties may remain, he said, but farmers still have to survive. If they can find a better deal, they're going to be forced to seriously consider that. Stay tuned. We'll be back to take a look at your markets after this.
AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio is your Medicaid plan for more benefits, more rewards. We know that good health means more than just seeing a doctor when you're sick. Eligible members can receive extras like home-delivered meals and family essentials, like baby carriers and kids' school supplies. Members can even earn rewards for playing mobile health trivia games. Learn more at AmeriHealthCaritasoh.com and call the Ohio Medicaid Consumer Hotline at 1-800-324-8680 to choose AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio.
It's time now for your morning Louis Dreyfus grain analysis, brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff. Let's check in with Ryan Martin.
And grain markets tried to bounce a little bit on a Wednesday, but could not keep any momentum. Honestly, there wasn't a lot of momentum to start with. As we take a look at the numbers yesterday, corn did gain a couple of pennies. Beans fell apart, trading back lower after the start to the day. Meanwhile, you had the wheat markets a little bit stronger as well, up 3 to 5 cents, but big story here was a lack of significant headlines in any marketplace. We were looking at a scenario here where harvest pressure was going to reign supreme. I think it did once again yesterday. Yields have been all over the place, but we're still looking at a very, very solid round of purchases by all sorts of either end users or elevators, and that's keeping pressure on the market overall. Now, that being said, we're hearing some interesting stories on basis. Some plants in some areas in the West, South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, that are very, very close to each other are seeing a wide disparity in bids. So it's going to be interesting to see as we come out of the key rounds of harvest, what does the market do? Where does it settle? Center Gulf is out of rail cars, it sounds like, and so we're just not seeing a huge export program. On top of that, we're seeing a limited amount of demand coming from China and Mexico right now. China is concerning due to the fact that most of the Chinese purchases should have been done already. So the fact that we're behind where we should be on demand and the fact that they're purchasing a little bit more now out of Brazil, that gives the market a little pause. And so that's going to be something that probably leads to more downturn. I've heard several different folks target 960 on November beans before this market maybe tries to put in a bottom. We will see. I'm watching it closely. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Let's take a look now at how your markets closed, brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. December corn closed up 3.5 cents, and March corn was up 3. November soybeans closed down 11 cents, with March soybeans down by 9 cents. And December Kansas City wheat closed up 5 3/4, while December Chicago wheat was up 5.5 cents, and December Minneapolis wheat was up 4 1/4 cents. Now in the overnight trade, December corn is trading up 1/4 penny at $4.05. March corn down 1/4 penny at $4.20 1/4 cents. November soybeans are trading up a penny and a quarter at $9.81 1/4 cent. January beans are up a penny and a quarter at $9.95 1/4 cent. Wheat for December up 2 3/4 at $5.87 3/4 cent, with the July 25 new crop up 2 3/4 cents at $6.23 3/4 cent. October live cattle ended the day up 32.5 cents at $187.05. December cattle up 7.5 cents at $186.60. December lean hogs closed up $2.47.5 cents at $77.70, and February hogs were up $1.80, $81.10. Class 3 milk for November closed down 8 cents at $21.08. This is the Ohio AgNet.